Good morning, guys. I hadn't planned on uploading another video about Superman, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's important, just a little bit, at least for in my opinion. Um, like I said, in my other video, the trailer, I had my review yesterday of it. Trailer was amazing. I don't know how many times I watched it already, but the the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about because I kind of think it's silly. Um, I just watched a review, and it's at Beyond the Trailer, and um, the lady, I think her name is Grace. She does really good reviews. Like I watch her and Clever Movies. I watch those two the most out of anyone. But I felt sorry for her because I guess she had maybe said some negative stuff about the Man of Steel, and maybe she got, like, I don't know, just got a lot of bad feedback or something. Um, but I think she took it a little too personal for being on the internet. Almost feel she maybe felt offended. Um, if you ever see this video, which I doubt you will, but if you ever do, just ignore all of that. It's not a big deal, really. It's just people always have crazy stuff to say on YouTube. I mean, yeah, it's true. So if you're watching this, just keep making your videos and don't sweat it. So, but some of the other things that she did talk about in the video, I don't agree with. I don't hate her for it, but I don't necessarily agree with it. For instance, she talked about uh, the film being too dark. Um, Now, look, there's a difference between a dark story and uh, the feel of it, I guess you would say. So here's the thing: me being an artist, because she talked about the color palette for the movie. Okay, yes, the movie does have a darker color palette, um, but just because a movie has a darker color palette doesn't necessarily mean that a it doesn't mean that the movie itself, like the story, is dark. And it seems like people keep getting that confused. Like Man of Steel, it's meant to be a little more realistic. I know she talked about it possibly being or saying that she missed the farm boy Superman. Um, that hasn't been rolled out yet completely. It just might be told in a different way, but I mean, obviously, he does grow up on the farm there with, um, his mom and dad. So I would say don't judge the film too early yet, um, because like I feel like they're doing a lot like what they did with the Dark Knight movies, how they are hiding a lot of stuff in the trailer. So um, I would say just watch the movie first before you make all of your judgments about it. No, it's not like the color palette and the tone. It's not like a Marvel movie. DC's never been on the same level with Marvel as far as their feel for in movies and even in a lot of their comics too. DC just has a different tone, which um, uh, some seems like some people didn't understand really when with the Christopher Nolan movies, the Batman movies. Um, if anything, they're a lot like what you would get in the comics as far as like the seriousness to it. Um, and also, she was saying that Nolan fanboys or something like um, we can't ever find anything wrong with um, Nolan movies, but that's completely not true because, for instance, as much as I love the Batman franchise, the recent one with Christopher Nolan, as much as I love those, the one thing that I feel like they failed on was making Batman himself, just himself, more interesting. Um, the stories were always the best thing about those movies, but so I feel like they could have worked on Batman and like his character himself. It could have had more character development, um, and sometimes I felt like Batman's presence wasn't in the movies enough. um, but you know, everyone has their own opinion, so you know, don't cry about it if someone doesn't like what you have to say. Um, I'm gonna watch Superman no matter what. Um, and I'm not just saying I'm gonna like everything about it. I might not, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna like the film, but there might be something in there that I'm like, I don't like that. But I'm not gonna judge it until I see it, you know. So, um, so for those of you who are just, you know, being like, oh well, you Nolan fans are the worst and blah 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 blah. It's just get over that. It's like it sounds so silly that people are even arguing about that. Me personally, why I like um, Nolan movies or whatever is for one. When I watch a movie, I like watching a movie that has a story to it. I don't like just watching mindless action. Um, and I'm not just saying that all Marvel movies are like that. The Marvel movies that I really just can't stand was Iron Man 2. Um, and one movie that I really did like that Marvel did was The Incredible Hulk. I really liked that movie, and that one it had a darker color palette, but the story wasn't necessarily darker, you know. So it was still pretty much like a regular Marvel movie, but they just decided to use some darker colors, which is fine. Everything doesn't have to be like super vibrant, bright colors where, and some of that stuff might not even work so great in 3D. I know the Avengers was really bright, and I watched it in 3D, and it didn't look that great. So maybe the darker colors, they probably help a little bit better. So anyway, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I know when I watched Tron Legacy in 3D, it looked a lot. The visuals were a lot more impressive. You know. Anyway, so yeah, that's all I have to say. Um, for those of you who just want to watch a new Superman, this is a new good take on Superman, so I am excited about it. And it's, those other movies came out so long ago. They were great for their time, but I mean, we're in a different age now, and there's a whole different look to sci-fi now, and so why not just try something new, you know? So anyway, so people stop complaining so much and don't get offended if people don't agree with your opinion. It's just YouTube. All right, bye.